The grand arena of the Galactic Defense Academy pulsed with anticipation. Thousands of alien eyes fixed on a lone human cadet. 3 towering Krath predators, their razor-sharp talons glinting under blazing lights, circled her with lethal intent. The crowd braced for a bloodbath, but Zara Kane, small and unarmored, stood serene, a faint smile on her lips. In 10 seconds, she'd forced the galaxy's fiercest warriors to kneel. Not with force, but with a secret humanity had honed across centuries of survival. The Galactic Defense Academy, a colossal station orbiting in the Orion Arms neutral zone, was a monument to interstellar ambition. Its rotation, calibrated to 1,000th%, maintained gravity so precise it was the envy of lesser outposts. Holographic billboards, projected across the station's hull, boasted its role as the galaxy's premier military academy, forging warriors from 50 sentient species. For humans admitted only 11 orbital cycles ago, it was a crucible of scrutiny and subtle disdain. With just 30 of the 2,000 cadets, humans were a curiosity at best, a punchline at worst, their contributions rounded down in the galactic narrative. The training hall, a vast chamber with energy-absorbing walls and a morphic floor, thrummed with activity. 45 cadets from 20 species drilled defensive forms, their movements a chaotic symphony of claws, tendrils, and hooves. Combat instructor Valthor, a Zarathian with 6 glowing eyes and a voice like grinding gears, barked corrections. Cadet Kane, your stance is an affront to physics. Zara Kane, 22, human, adjusted her posture, redistributing her weight as she'd learned on Earth. It was a balanced, grounded form, but to Valthor's alien sensibilities, it was a personal insult. Marginally less offensive, Valthor grunted, his eyes flickering with the enthusiasm of someone correcting a typo. The hall's floor, set to a humid, bone-chilling cold, favored the non-human majority, leaving Zara's breath visible and her fingers tingling. The walls shimmered, designed to withstand plasma barrages, while the ceiling projected shifting battle simulations. Today, a skirmish on Vexus's methane flats. Zara glanced at the simulation, noting tactical errors in the holographic Krath squad's formation, a habit born from years of studying predators. At the hall's far end, the Krath cadets trained with lethal elegance. Over 8 feet tall, their obsidian exoskeletons gleamed, and their retractable talons could slice durasteel like paper. The Krath were the Academy's apex predators, their dominance woven into its lore. Their leader, Cadet Commander Rickthar, exuded arrogance, his mandibles clicking in a rhythm that silenced lesser species. His cohort, Silva, a swift female whose movements blurred, and Vorn, a tactical prodigy whose algorithms predicted outcomes, with eerie precision, moved as extensions of his will, a trio of death. The 14th combat trials begin in 3 days, Valthor announced, his gaze sweeping the room, pausing on the human cadets with a smirk. Each species will select their best for individual and team events. Some of you might avoid total humiliation. The Krath erupted in a guttural laugh, Rickthar's mandibles flaring. Humans are softer than Zelvian jelly, he declared, his voice carrying. Their trial should be surviving the cafeteria without crying. Laughter swept the hall, hisses, chirps, and growls. Zara continued her forms, her face impassive, but her eyes burned with defiance. The trials were her chance to rewrite humanity's story. Zara's outsider status wasn't new. Raised in New Shanghai's crowded arcologies, she'd grown up navigating a world that dismissed her potential. Her parents, Dr. Lena Kane, a xenobiologist, and Dr. Raj Patel, a biomechanic, had worked on Earth's first contact protocols with the Krath. Their research uncovered the Krath's neural vulnerabilities, buried in obscure texts. Zara, their only child, was their legacy, a human engineered for the Apex program, a clandestine initiative to counter galactic predators. Identified at 16 for her genetic markers, she'd endured 18 months on Titan's 1.5G surface, where every step was a battle against crushing resistance. Neural implants tripled her processing speed, letting her perceive the world in slow motion. Subdermal enhancements, their origins classified, sharpened her senses to overwhelming clarity, sometimes flooding her with data she'd learned to filter. The Academy's mess hall was a study in division. Designed to foster unity, it mirrored a battlefield of cliques. Species segregated themselves, their tables marked by unspoken rules. Zara carried her tray of flavorless nutrient paste toward the human enclave, a corner table for 6. Cadet Mei Chen, a wiry engineer with a quick laugh, waved her over. "Survive Valthor's wrath?" Mei asked. Zara grinned. Barely. As she navigated the aisles, a 4-eyed Solarian, Crave, blocked her path, his tendrils twitching. "Lost. Mammal, the trials are coming. Stick to fetching drinks." Zara sidestepped him with fluid grace. "I'd spar verbally, Crave, but I don't debate with beings who think extra eyes replace a spine." A nearby Zinth table trilled, their bioluminescent skin flashing. The Krath table fell silent, their eyes locking onto Zara. Rickthar rose, his exoskeleton darkening to a threatening black. "Bold for prey," he rumbled, the floor vibrating. Zara met his stare, unflinching. "Funny, I was thinking the same about you." The mess hall gasped. Challenging a Krath was a cadet's death sentence, socially, if not literally. Rickthar leaned closer, his talons twitching. "The trials include the Krath Crucible, 3 champions against 1 opponent of our choice. Guess who we're picking?" Zara took a slow bite of her paste, chewing deliberately. "Me, I presume?" Rickthar's mandibles clicked, a smirk. "Correct. And when you fall, humans lose their council seat for a cycle." The human table erupted. Losing representation would stall their integration for years. Zara raised a hand, silencing them. "And if I win?" Rickthar's eyes narrowed, amused. "We'll name humans combat peers." Zara extended her hand, a gesture the Academy had adopted grudgingly. "Deal." Rickthar gripped it, his talons retracted to skirt regulations. 3 days, human. The arena will feast." As he stalked away, Zara's tablemates swarmed her. "You're insane," Mei hissed, her eyes wide. Cadet Patel, a nervous tactician, stammered. "That's suicide." Zara shrugged, eating calmly. "Insanity's relative." She didn't mention the Apex program, nor the nights spent studying Krath physiology, cross-referencing her parents' notes with Galactic archives. The Crucible was her test, and she was ready. Zara's preparation began in childhood. Her mother's bedtime stories were xenobiology lessons, detailing Krath sensory webs. Her father taught her to dismantle and rebuild combat drones, embedding adaptability in her thinking. At the Academy, she'd kept a low profile, her quiet demeanor masking her training. She sparred with Mei in secret, honing her reflexes, and studied with Patel, sharpening his tactics while refining her own. The human cadets, though supportive, didn't know the full extent of her enhancements, nor the weight of representing Earth in a galaxy that saw humans as fragile. The Grand Arena was a technological spectacle, its kilometer-wide floor able to mimic any battlefield, from asteroid belts to acid seas. Tiered seating designed for 50 species was a logistical nightmare. Tentacled Silarians jostled feathered Zinths, each complaining about the other's biology. Today, attendance hit 99.2%, driven by the Krath Crucible's rarity and the audacity of a human facing it alone. The air buzzed with anticipation, bets circulating in a dozen languages, from Vexian clicks to Zinth harmonics. Zara stood in the preparation chamber, her standard combat suit swapped for an Earth-designed exoskin. Shipped under the cover of biomedical research, it melded with her neural implants, amplifying her movements with nanoscale precision. Adrenaline elevated, neural patterns optimal, her suit's AI chirped. Odds of survival. Mute, Zara snapped, silencing the A. Grim math. She reviewed her foes. Rickthar, a juggernaut of force. Silva, a blur of lethal speed. Vorn, a tactician whose algorithms predicted moves before they happened. A fair fight, she thought, smirking. Her training flooded her mind. Titan's crushing gravity had reshaped her body, each step a battle against resistance. Neural drills in Earth's labs had rewired her brain, letting her process stimuli in fractions of a second. The implants, a blend of biotech and mystery, gave her senses that could detect a Krath's heartbeat from meters away. She'd spent nights poring over Krath texts, cross-referencing with human xenobiology. Their exoskeleton, a sensory organ as much as armor, was her key, a weakness Earth had mapped since first contact. Her mother's notes, smuggled into her datapad, detailed the stasis lock, a ritual Krath technique that paralyzed opponents through precise pressure triggers. Zara's preparation wasn't just physical. She'd studied the Academy's politics, noting the Krath's influence on the Council. Their dominance ensured favorable policies, sidelining humans. The Crucible was a chance to shift that balance. She'd confided in May, who'd helped her simulate Krath attacks in a hollow room, and Patel, who'd analyzed Vorn's algorithms, giving Zara an edge. Her team's support, though limited by their own training, was a quiet strength. Above, Chancellor Kirill, a crystalline entity whose voice shimmered like fracturing glass, addressed the crowd. The Krath Crucible, invoked only 8 times, pits 3 Krath champions against a lone challenger. Cadet Zara Kane has chosen to face them alone. The arena exploded, hisses of disbelief, clicks of excitement, and the hum of medical drones prepping for carnage. Zara's platform hummed, lifting her to the floor. The crowd's roar faded to a hush as she emerged, a lone figure in black exoskin, dwarfed by the Krath trio. Their exoskeletons gleamed, talons extended, a triangle of death. Humans, Rickthar boomed, his voice amplified. Redefine failure daily. Zara stretched casual. We call it innovation. The holographic timer glowed. 10, 9, 8. Zara closed her eyes, her senses mapping the arena. The Krath's breathing, the crowd's pulse, the air's density. She felt Richthar's heartbeat, steady but quickening. Silva's lighter rhythm, Vorn's calculated calm. 3, 2, 1. Begin. The Zai. Krath charged, a flawless assault. Rickthar barreled forward. Silva flanked left, Vorn right. A formation with no escape. Zara stood still, not from fear, but precision. The crowd leaned in, expecting blood. At 1.5 meters, when the Krath's momentum was locked, Zara moved. Her body flowed, defying human limits. She stepped into Richthar's path, her right hand darting to his chest, stopping 2 millimeters from a neural nexus, a ridge Earth scientists had identified decades ago. Her left leg arced back, her heel hovering near Silva's throat, targeting a pressure point where exoskeleton met tissue. Her right arm extended toward Vorn, fingers poised above his sensory cluster, a hidden vulnerability. The maneuver took 0.79 seconds. The arena fell silent, the Krath frozen mid-strike, their bodies trapped in a neurological paradox. Zara's exoskin hummed, stabilizing her stance, its nanomesh compensating for the strain of her impossible pose. How? Rickthar growled, his mandibles trembling. Zara's voice was steady. Your exoskeleton is a sensory web. At this distance, I trigger your reflexes without contact, locking you in a feedback loop. Your muscles can't choose, attack or brace. Silva hissed. This isn't in any database. Zara's smile widened. Earth's libraries are thorough. The Krath's nervous system, built for decisive action, couldn't handle this. Liminal state, Zara continued. Your kind calls it the stasis lock used in ritual duels. I'm borrowing it. Vorn spoke first. You studied us. Intimately, Zara said. Humans were prey for millennia. We learned to outthink predators. The timer stopped at 0:09 to 62. The Krath, with ceremonial slowness, knelt, their exoskeletons clanking. Zara stepped back, bowing. Demonstration. Complete. The arena erupted, the human section's cheers seismic. Chancellor Kirill's crystals pulsed gold, signaling victory. Cadet Kane triumphs. Zara's heart raced, not from fear, but triumph. She'd gambled humanity's future and won, proving their worth in a galaxy that had dismissed them. The crowd's noise was a roar of disbelief, admiration, and fear. Humans, it seemed, were no longer a footnote. The arena's aftermath was pandemonium. The human cadets, once a silent minority, roared, their jubilation shaking the stands. Cadet May led the cheers, her voice hoarse, while Patel, usually reserved, jumped with abandon. Other species reacted with shock, awe, and frantic reassessment. Silarians waved tendrils in agitation, Zinths flashed like broken beacons, and Vexians floated upward, their gas bladders overinflated. In the official's box, Valthor's eyes remained unblinking, a medic discreetly offering saline. Chancellor Kuryl's crystals cycled through colors, reflecting the crowd's chaos. Rickthar rose, his exoskeleton dulling to neutral gray. "This wasn't combat," he said, his tone grudgingly respectful. Zara extended a hand. "That's the point." Silva and Vorn followed, their mandibles clicking in acknowledgement. The crowd caught the exchange, the audio system amplifying Zara's words. "Humans know predators. We've studied you since we crawled from caves." The Krath's kneeling, a gesture of ritual defeat, sent ripples through the galaxy. Humanity had outmaneuvered the untouchable. Questions swarmed as Zara left the arena. "How did you find their weaknesses? Is this standard human training? Can you teach that stance?" A Zinth, glowing pink, asked about genetic compatibility, which Zara declined with a smile. "Just xenobiology and physics," she said, downplaying the feat. Her fellow humans stared, awestruck, as if realizing their quiet classmate was a weapon in disguise. Mee grabbed her arm, whispering, "You're terrifying." Zara laughed. "Good." Cadet Lopez, wide-eyed, asked, "Did Earth know you could do that?" Zara's grin was cryptic, Earth-like surprises. As she passed Crave, the Solarians' tendrils drooped. "Still think I'm lost?" she asked. Kreve's eyes blinked unevenly. "I need to rethink mammals." Zara patted his shoulder. "Start with adaptability." The exchange, caught by a cadet's holofeed, went viral across the Academy's network, fueling debates about human potential. The Academy transformed overnight. The human table in the mess hall became a hub, aliens eager to chat. A Vexian, Delira, joined May and Zara, their gas-filled form bobbing nervously. "I thought humans were fragile," Clyra admitted. Zara smiled. "We're stubborn." The Krath, true to their word, greeted humans with formal nods, their mandibles lowered. Rickthar, in a rare gesture, visited the human table, his presence silencing the hall. "You've earned respect," he said, his voice low. Zara nodded. "So have you." Professor Zyler, the xenobiology chair, overhauled their syllabus, adding human strategic adaptations. Zara, invited to lecture, deflected requests to demonstrate her stance, citing classified protocols. Her talks drew crowds, her insights on predator-prey dynamics sparking debates. A Solarian engineer proposed a sensor based on her stasis technique, while a Vexian tactician drafted a manual on human improvisation. Zara deflected fame, mentoring cadets like Patel, who excelled in high-G simulators, his determination echoing her own. The Academy Council, once dismissive, now listened. A proposal to include human military history, emphasizing asymmetric tactics, passed unanimously. Zara's schedule shifted to elite training, her instructors as curious as her peers. They probed for secrets, but Zara remained vague, her answers blending candor and deflection. Humanity's edge lay in its unpredictability. Earth Command sent encrypted praise. Protocol Shadow Veil, a success, expand candidate pool. The Apex program, Zara knew, was humanity's ace, its candidates a hidden network. Zara's victory rippled beyond the Academy. Galactic news feeds buzzed, with analysts debating humanity's rise. A Krath diplomat interviewed on a holocast admitted, "We underestimated them." Earth's council seat, once precarious, gained influence, with Zara's name whispered in diplomatic halls. She met with human cadets, sharing strategies to navigate the Academy's politics. We're not just fighters, she told them. We're builders. On the observation deck, Zara gazed at the stars, the galaxy sprawling. Rickthar approached, his steps measured. May I join you? Zara nodded, and the Krath settled beside her, graceful despite his bulk. They sat in silence, the void there, companion. Your file says standard gravity, Rickthar said, yet you move like a high-G colonist. Zara's lips twitched. You've been digging. Rickthar's mandibles clicked, quoting a Krath proverb. Know your peers as you knew your foes. Zara leaned back. My parents were apex scientists, xenobiology and biomechanics. They met designing countermeasures for your kind. Rickthar's exoskeleton shimmered. You were engineered to challenge us. To understand you, Zara corrected. The challenge was my choice. Rickthar's mandibles parted, a laugh. Humans turn weakness into strategy. Zara's eyes glinted. We call it survival. She shared her parents' story. Her mother's xenobiology mapped Krath weaknesses. Her father's biomechanics built her exoskin. It humanized her victory, grounding it in legacy. They watched a nebula pulse, its colors mirroring their respect. The Crucible incident reshaped the Academy's culture. Humans once ignored were studied. Cadets from rival species sought Zara's advice, their questions a mix of curiosity and caution. The Krath trained alongside humans, their sparring a blend of rivalry and camaraderie. Zara's victory shifted. The galaxy's perception. Humanity was a force, not a footnote. Galactic councils debated Earth's role, with some species advocating closer ties, others wary of human unpredictability. Zara's training intensified, her instructors dissecting her tactics. She shared xenobiology insights and reflex drills, but kept Earth's deeper secrets close. The Apex program was humanity's trump card, its candidates a hidden network. Her suit's comms pinged. Protocol Shadow Veil approved. Expand pool. Zara's role was clear. Prepare the way for more like her. She trained with Valthor, whose gruff demeanor softened slightly, and sparred with Silva, whose speed pushed Zara's limits. Their sessions, observed by cadets, became lessons in cross-species respect. In the mess hall, Zara sat with her team, now joined by Tlira and a Zinth, Kliss, whose bioluminescence pulsed with excitement. Crev approached, his tendrils hesitant. I misjudged you, he said. Zara nodded. Learn from it. Crev joined. The table, a tentative ally. The Academy was changing, one interaction at a time. May, ever the joker, teased Crev about his tendrils, easing tensions. You're practically human now, she said. Krev's eyes blinked, amused. Zara's lectures drew crowds, her insights on predator-prey dynamics sparking debates. A Solarian engineer proposed a sensor based on her stasis technique, while a Vexian tactician drafted a manual on human improvisation. Zara deflected fame, mentoring cadets like Patel, who excelled in high-G simulators, and Sophie, a young human with a knack for xenobiology. Sophie's curiosity reminded Zara of her younger self, and she spent hours guiding her through Krath texts, fostering her potential. One evening, Zara met Silva on the training deck. The Krath female's talons were sheathed, her posture open. You've changed us, Silva said. Krath don't kneel easily. Zara smiled. Humans don't win easily, we keep going. Silva's mandibles clicked. Respect. Train with me? Zara agreed. They're sparring a dance of equals, each learning. Silva shared Krath combat philosophy, emphasizing instinct, while Zara taught precision, their exchange a microcosm of the Academy's shift. The Council approved a human-led seminar, with Zara as co-instructor. She designed scenarios blending human ingenuity with alien strengths, fostering unity. The first session drew record attendance, cadets collaborating in new ways. Zara watched, her pride quiet but deep. She invited Rickthar to co-teach, his presence, lending weight. Their partnership, once unthinkable, inspired cadets to bridge divides. Zara's personal life deepened. May became her confidant, their late-night talks a blend of humor and vulnerability. Me shared her dream of designing starships, while Zara admitted the toll of her enhancements, sensory overload that sometimes left her sleepless. Patel, emboldened, led a human team to victory in a tactics drill, crediting Zara's mentorship. Sophie, struggling with confidence, found strength in Zara's encouragement, her growth a quiet triumph. On the deck, Zara and Rickthar met often, their silences comfortable. "Your species thrives on the unexpected," he said. Zara laughed. "Earth's a tough school. Everything tried to kill us, so we got creative." Rickthar's exoskeleton shimmered. "A lesson the galaxy won't forget." Zara reflected on her journey. The Crucible wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. Humanity, underestimated, had turned weakness into power. She trained harder, studied deeper, and mentored fiercely, building a legacy of inclusion and strength. Zara's influence spread. A Krath cadet, Vorn's protege, sought her advice, admitting his species' arrogance. "You've shown us humility," he said. Zara nodded. "It's a start." She organized cross-species study groups, pairing humans with aliens to share knowledge. The initiative, dubbed Unity Labs, gained traction, with Tlira and Kliss leading sessions. The Academy, once a hierarchy, was becoming a community. Years later, the Crucible incident was legend, taught alongside Krath war sagas. Zara, now an instructor, shaped cadets, her methods blending human adaptability with galactic rigor. The Apex program expanded, its candidates integrating across the Academy, their potential a quiet hum. Earth's council seat, once fragile, now held sway, with Zara's name a symbol of human potential. The mess hall, once segregated, buzzed with mixed tables, humans no longer outliers. The Krath, led by Commander Rickthar, maintained their alliance, joint exercises a testament to respect. Zara's non-profit Horizon Alliance funded scholarships for underrepresented species, ensuring no cadet felt invisible. She partnered with Tlira, whose diplomatic skills amplified the program's reach, and Kliss, whose enthusiasm drew donors. Sophie, Zara's protege, echoed her path, excelling in xenobiology. When Sophie won a tactics competition, Zara cheered, fiercely, her pride a mirror of her own uncelebrated youth. Sophie's thesis on cross-species neural interfaces cited Zara's stasis technique, earning galactic acclaim. Zara framed Sophie's thank you letter, hanging it in her quarters beside a Krath data crystal from Valthor, a rare honor. "You earned this," his note read. Ethan, a human engineer, became Zara's partner, their evenings on the deck a grounding force. A quiet innovator, Ethan designed adaptive exoskins inspired by Zara's, his work advancing human training. "Ever miss the arena?" he asked. Zara shook her head. "I'm building something better." Their bond, rooted in mutual respect, was a contrast to the Academy's intensity, offering Zara balance. The Whitaker estate, a distant memory, was now a training hub, per Earth command. Zara visited once, speaking to Apex candidates, her presence inspiring. She shared her story, not just the Crucible, but the years of doubt, the sensory overload, the weight of representing humanity. "You're not just cadets," she told them. "You're proof we belong." Zara's seminars became galactic events, drawing diplomats and generals. She spoke of unity, adaptability, and the power of the overlooked. Her words inspired reforms, with the Academy adopting cross-species mentorships. Sophie joined Horizon Alliance, her passion amplifying Zara's vision. May, now a starship designer, contributed tech to the non-profit, ensuring its sustainability. One night, Zara stood on the deck, the galaxy vast. Rickthar joined, their bond unspoken but deep. "Your kind redefines strength," he said. Zara's eyes twinkled. "We play the hand we're dealt." The stars burned, a canvas of possibility. The Krath had knelt, but Zara had risen. Her legacy a galaxy where no one was unseen. If Zara's story inspired you, hit subscribe and join our community. Share this tale with someone who loves epic sci-fi. Your likes, comments, and support keep these stories alive. Let's keep exploring the stars together.